Dímelo, mi gente, que lo que. Currently on a bike ride, North Beach, Miami. Let you guys catch a little bit of this view, but I want to do a quick video on what happens when silence gets passed down, because this is like a big thing in Caribbean culture, especially Afro Caribbeans. We usually don't get a lot of the story passed down to us for whatever reason that is. I've noticed that this is something that we usually inherit family stories in pieces, right? It's never just like a written record. It's always just like your grandmother will tell you one thing, your grandfather will tell you another thing. You know, your aunt has pictures, your uncle has stories. So it's like you got to like put everything together. And that's kind of the story that I had as well. Like um, growing up, we just never talked about where we were from. Like we just never talked about it. We just never talked about where we were from. So like we would talk about Samaná as just like a place, you know. Um, Obviously, having an English last name, being Protestant in a very Catholic country. My grandparents speak in English. It's like these were just things that just were when I was a kid. You know, like that was just our last name. Like my grandparents just spoke English. You know, we were just Protestant in a Catholic country like that. Like there was no explanation behind any of these things because we never talked about it. You know, we never talked about any of that stuff. And it's like I was like tell people like if people had talked about the 1824 migration of free African Americans to Samana, it would have made my life a lot easier. But it's like I would have known about it. You know, like if people talked about it, I would have known about it, and I can't stress that enough. Maybe people did talk about it. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just wasn't around the right people. I don't want to say that nobody knew about it. Maybe people knew about it, but they didn't think that it was a big deal. Like there's a lot of different questions that I have. There's a lot of ways that I can think about it. But for me, it's like now that I know the story and can actually do something about it, specifically right. That's what I chose to do so that the next generation, you know, my kids, whenever I have kids, or whoever, you know, whoever needs the whole story has access to it. You know, like they can get to it, they can read it. They don't have to grow up wondering why or how. You know, asking all the same questions that I had. That's why it's important, man. It's important to ask. Like it's important to ask your parents about your family history. It's important to talk to your grandparents. You know, that was one of my biggest regrets, man. As like I waited until my grandparents passed away to like really do all this. You know, really start all this, and it's like I have so many questions that I can ask them that I want to ask them. You know, like because there's so many things that happen. You know, there's so many things that we talked about when I was a kid that just didn't really make any sense, and now that I think about it, it makes perfect sense. So it's like I'm like I always tell you guys like ask, talk to your family, dig into your family history. Like don't let anybody tell you what to identify as. Like don't like do the research for yourself. You know. And I didn't even want to make this into a Dominican thing because it's not just a Dominican Republic thing. It's not just a Dominican identity thing. This is just a human thing. It's a universal thing. Like um, finding out more about your history, your personal history, your family history, your national history is just going to help you gain more clarity. I just want to leave you guys with that. Nothing too crazy today, but yeah, we'll talk on the next one. Hope you guys have a good day. Deuces.